core memories that are intertwined into both exhibitions was when I was in my late 17s into 18s, and I remember visiting for the first time a bar in Juárez called Albatros. And it was the very first time that I ever walked into a gay bar. And it really was, and I explore it a lot in my work, this transformational experience where I felt like I had been transported into like another world or an alternate dimension. Alongside with that, the San Antonio Mining Company, that kind of put together, in a way, core memory of what it was for me to understand who I was when I was young. My name is Andres Payan, and I'm the artist who put together the two exhibitions, both Visiones Nocturnas, which is in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua right now, and here in El Paso, Texas, we have And the Sound of the Void Flow Through Your Body. What motivated me to explore queer and queer identity, specifically along the US-Mexico border, a lot of it had to do really with my own experience growing up here in the border. I was born and raised in Ciudad Juárez, and when I was young, I started to experiment and explore a bit with my own identity. One of the ways that I think about the process of creating an object, specifically an object that's meant to record something that's ephemeral, such as dancing in the middle of the dance floor when like lights are flashing, or that moment when like smoke hits you and you're blinded by like the strobe lights, or even like the heat or the reverberations of a dance floor. These are all things that are very crucial to how a space is created, and specifically kind of a nightlife space that many times we don't think about. So how do you record that? And I do it in a way where I try to take that moment and rematerializing it. So part of it is like, what material is connected to what moment? For example, the moment of euphoria of dancing where the lights are flashing and smoke is like blowing on your face. The way that I created that metaphor for that through an object was through a chiffon curtain that is large scale. And then when you walk up to it, it's almost as if you're seeing an after image in your mind of what that was. And I kind of go through that process with each of these investigations. So there's two exhibitions, and each exhibition kind of has a very different feel, even though at the core they are about a queer experience with nightlife. One of them you could say is a little bit more celebratory, while the other one has to do a little bit more with the melancholy. The exhibition in Ciudad Juárez, which is actually at Albatros, which was the very first gay bar that I went to, that one captures a little bit more of a celebratory nature. It's more filled with color, and a lot of the visual investigations in that space have to do with queer nightlife spaces along the US-Mexico border that are still open, versus what you see here in And the Sound of the Void Flow Through Your Body, which is at the San Antonio Mining Company. The show here has a bit more of a melancholic, monochromatic, somber tone, and that is explored through the materials in the exhibition, such as broken glass or unfinished white oak wood, which creates this dance floor piece. And also one of the objects that's behind me, which is a disco ball, which was the actual disco ball that used to be here in this space when it was open as the San Antonio Mining Company. There is this delicateness to these spaces and this ephemerality. As quickly as they appear, they can disappear, but really kind of it is up to the community and those allies to be able to support these spaces, whether they be nightlife spaces or any other sort of queer spaces, for them to become, be safe, and really actualize who their true selves are in the spaces that are created for them and by them. I really hope that these exhibitions and these projects in particular are able to shine a little bit of light towards that, towards what is the value, because even if a space is no longer there, the influence and the impact of it continues to resonate within an individual.